Fraud incident. I almost had it. Hey, yo, we're doing bingo. All right. The only one you didn't get is you already have or would pursue sex for reasons other than attraction. All right. Well, I'm going to save it for the end of the video, but I will do this bingo sheet myself. All right, everyone. Finally, we have bingo. Number 1, you mistook other types of attraction for sexual or romantic. Yeah, I've made that mistake before. I feel the same way about all genders, so I must be bi or pan. I know if I was gay, so I must be straight. I'm not straight, I must be gay. Yeah, process of elimination. I have made that mistake. You thought people were joking about or comedically exaggerating attraction. I did, and I also thought people were intentionally romanticizing it in storytelling as well. Which, okay, now that I'm saying the word romanticizing, fair. You don't understand what's so special about sex. I do understand it. A lot of people take it seriously in that way. And culturally, I get it. And also, it is physically taxing, and it is kind of the main way we create more life and blah, blah, blah. I understand it. I don't really feel it myself, and I think in some ways we over amplify how important it is, but I do understand why other people care. You regularly question if you're actually ROAs. Yeah. You were the judgy type. I'm totally oh, that is... Some of these are kind of blurry because of how the image was exported. Hold on. You were the judgy type. I'm totally acing virginity. Why is resisting temptation supposed to be hard anyways? Or I'm not like the others, shaking my head. Everyone else turned boy/girl crazy overnight. Okay. So for some extra context, I was raised in a very Christian household. Several of them kind of, because complications, but I was given a lot of talk about how important celibacy is and that as a kid I shouldn't be doing it and whatnot, and I didn't say much that was judgy per se, but I definitely thought it. Because it took me a while to realize how unreasonable a lot of the celibacy stuff is, and how getting laid doesn't mean that you are now a worthless person. So you might be able to blame a little bit of religious trauma on that one. You didn't know people actually thought about having... Okay, fumbled that, which, great. You didn't know people actually think about having sex with someone they find hot. No, I knew because they talked about it. Oh, shoot. That's wrong. I knew because they talked about it frequently. I had that explained to me pretty darn quickly. Like, I didn't instantly know because words have meaning, but like I learned that quick enough that I would not count that one for me. You don't understand why people who get friend zoned can't just stay friends. What's there to get over first? I understand how troubling it can be. I do, but at the same time, I feel like if you can't stand being in the friend zone, you weren't really friends. Like, I get that it can be really hard to ignore it, and it can take a while to get over it. I understand that part. But there are way too many people where when they pull, we can't be friends anymore because I am into you, all I can think is, were you ever really friends with them, or did you just want to do it with them? So I'm a little bit wish-wash. I'm going to count this one because I don't fully get it, but at the same time, I get that it is like that. Like, what's there to get over first, I get, but I don't get the rest of it, if that makes sense. I felt like you felt like you were broken or immature because society was pressuring you to seek out relationships and sex. Oh no. Okay. As a kid, I definitely did feel like I was broken a lot. I don't think I felt immature, but I definitely felt broken a lot. But at the same time, that was because autism. I was severely autistic as a child, by the way. I went nonverbal for like a solid year. 2 grades, people thought I was an actual robot. Not a joke, by the way. Some of them actually thought it. It took me till near the end of middle school and me being sat down like as if I'm in a classroom by Ray in order to learn what sarcasm actually was. And by the way, somebody, I'm not going to name names, but somebody insists they taught me what it is, and all they did was constantly mock me for not understanding and basically bullied me over that. So I'm still not over that. Trauma's mean like that. Yeah, I learned a lot of coping stuff, and I don't like describing it as got better, but like I did learn a lot of coping ways to deal with it. So I did feel very immature. The autism definitely overshadowed it, but I have had a couple moments where it was like, it is a little bit weird, I'm not into it. But I would usually immediately be like, but that's probably because I'm autistic, because a bunch of social stuff I completely miss out on. That's just how that was. You often miss innuendos or don't notice flirting. Well, funny story. The song Honey Pie, cute animation. I love it. It's a very cute song. One of the lyrics is they're singing about honey pie. Bring your own fork, girl. You know I don't provide it. I recognize that as an innuendo because of the wording, but I could not for the life of me put together what it was. And I was listening to that song daily because of how much I liked all the different animations of it. And then it was 2 weeks. I asked Ray, because Ray is the person I'm always asking about this stuff, because Ray actually explains it. I showed the song and the cute animation, and Ray was in it, and I'm like, yeah, I know there's an innuendo here, but I don't know what it is. And Ray was immediately like, oh yeah, because they're eating out. And I'm like, oh, oh, that makes sense. I have missed a lot of innuendos. I will, but it's weird because sometimes I'll clock, this is an innuendo. I recognize because of the wording, this is an innuendo. I don't know what it's an innuendo of, but it's an innuendo. I also want to point out, I do actually like sexual and romantic wordplay if it's done clever instead of just saying, oh, by the way, sex is a thing. Like, get a little bit creative with it, and I think it's pretty good. There's some really clever stuff in there. You are repulsed by sex or the idea of personally having sex. I am not. I am not, in fact. This is sex repulsed, I believe. Yeah, sex repulsed is the term. I am not. There is some sexual stuff I'm uncomfortable with, but in general, I am not sex repulsed as a person. There's definitely a lot of kinks and stuff that I don't want to have to hear about because I'm not into that, but I personally, I'm not really repulsed by sex. Because again, I get that other people are into it, and good for them. I'm happy you're happy. Please keep that stuff away from me, though. You have never had a celebrity crush, sexual or romantic. Did you actually want to do anything like that with them? The biggest celebrity hits I've had are being like, oh, it would be so cool if insert YouTuber or whatever sees this and got a laugh out of that and whatnot. I don't think I'd call it a crush, though. I think I definitely had moments of idolizing celebrities. But I've never had anything like romantic or sexual about that, like at all. I'm assuming this is supposed to be free space. I don't actually want to cross that out because it looks cool, but this is free space. I just realized I was one away from getting a bingo on both of these. You decided to have a crush on someone or randomly choose someone when you asked who you liked. Several times, yes. It's just easier. Pick someone who you know isn't actually into you and call it there. You didn't realize romantic love is an actual feeling that's different from just strong platonic love. Hold on. I think this is a lot that I'm just now realizing it is different. I thought romantic love is just really, really strong love, and it's like, it's intoxicating because of how strong. Isn't it just strong love? I have a feeling this is instilling a belief or whatever it's called, where the question itself demands you agree with the answer. I could be wrong. I didn't realize it though, because I don't know. I thought it was just really, really strong. Like, it's overwhelming because it's so strong, right? I didn't know it was different. Oh no. That speaks volumes. Okay. You don't fantasize about yourself having sex. If you masturbate, for example, you think about scenarios, sex as a concept, fictional characters, or nothing in particular. Huh. Yeah, fair enough. I personally do not think of myself in those scenarios, like, at all. Because my reaction to those scenarios would be to just run. So, you know, that's a pretty good reason to not imagine it. You are touch-starved or just want to cuddle with someone without it being misunderstood as sexual or romantic. I don't... Yeah, okay, look, my boyfriend lives far away and we're both too poor to move in to each other right now, blah, 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 and I want huggles. It sounded way too needy, I'm sorry, but like, I would kill to just cuddle up under a blanket with someone and watch a movie. Not no romantic, well, maybe romantic, but not in a sexual way in any way, just hanging out, enjoying life, enjoying each other's company type of deal. You're the designated relationships expert. Your bestseller tips: communicate and break up. I have recommended people don't take people back, but I've never recommended someone to break up. Then again, I don't communicate with that many people. Communicating with people and telling them, see, what you're telling me is exactly what you should be telling them, tends to be my move of, this is something they need to be told. And the main reason why I rely on that is because, as someone who is autistic and does still struggle a lot with picking up what people are putting down when they're being all subtle about it, I know how infuriating it is when someone expects that you know something about them and you have no idea how you were supposed to understand that. And a lot of the time, it genuinely would be better just to have it out there so that way you guys can work towards it. Actually acknowledge the problem so that we can start solving it. I wouldn't say I'm the designated relationships expert. I am the person a lot of people will go to because I'm very blunt and open about it. But I'm not really the designated guy for that. I'm not really eager to get involved in people's relationships. So I'd say that because I just avoid these conversations altogether, I'm not the designated guy, but I have been asked for advice on stuff like this before. So, you know, this one's a little bit of a question mark. You can't comprehend all the stupid or sometimes even evil things people do for love or sex. Okay, this is a complicated one. So I'm gonna put a pin on the stupid. We'll come back to that. Evil. The immediate evil thing that comes to mind is, well, if I say it out loud, YouTube will be very mad at me. So, RAPE, I believe I'm allowed to spell it. Like, that is the number one evil thing people do for sex. It's pretty undeniable. It's that thing. Gross. Not okay in any way, shape, or form. Ignoring consent in any way for that is just vile and disgusting. But partly because I'm really into very dark stories and looking into like the mindsets behind this stuff, I usually go for more fictional than real stuff because it makes me feel a lot more comfortable with it, to acknowledge it when there aren't any real victims of that person, only real victims of the crime, so it lets you understand it better. I do comprehend why they do that, but it's not justified. It's horrible. It's wrong. There's a reason why it's still evil. For stupid, I comprehend that just fine. People have strong desires, and that leads them to do stupid stuff. I've done stupid stuff for desires. Not sexual desires, but desires. Whenever I refer to the 7 deadly sins, I really like to remind people that lust is not sex, it is not romance, it is strong, overwhelming desire. You can lust for money, you can lust for a promotion. That is still lust. People tie it to romance and sex because that's the thing usually associated with lust. That is not all lust is. Also, gluttony is not just eating. Drug addicts are also indulging in gluttony because it's overindulgence. Greed isn't just money, it's selfishness. Envy, the issue with it isn't your own desire, it's that you are only desiring it above others. Pride is arrogance, it is not confidence. People mix that up all the time. Wrath is not temporary anger, it's letting your rage overwhelm you. Like, I could go on an entire rant about the 7 deadly sins misconceptions alone. I'm going to circle this one though, because I do believe I comprehend it just fine. I understand it. I just don't. I don't feel it myself, but I understand it. Yeah, no, I have done very stupid stuff for lust. In fact, I can guarantee you, just about everyone watching this has also done stupid stuff for lust. Maybe nothing evil, but you've definitely done something stupid for lust before. Like, if you haven't, then chances are you just don't recognize you have, or you've done very little in life in general, because it's fairly normal to do stupid stuff out of desire. If for no other reason than that you didn't consider how dumb it was. Heck, just running to the front of a line and accidentally running into someone, that's doing something stupid out of desire. Like, that's not what this is, but like that's a very basic example of it. It's not a big deal. Everyone does it. Lust is just a part of life. And yeah, that includes for Oasis because it's not just sex and romance. Can you tell I'm a little bit annoyed by that misconception? You thought romantic relationships just meant being best friends, plus physically/emotionally intimate. Essentially a queer partner relationship, but queer platonic relationship. But QPR. The point is, sorry, it's near the end of the video. I'm tired. You thought romantic relationships were meant to be best friends and plus physically and emotionally intimacy. From what I understand, the best ones are, and yes, some romantic relationships are, but others are not. So, I did, at some point a long time ago when I was really young, I believe this. But again, I learned relatively quickly that no, that's not really the case. But, you know, also, I find a lot of people forget that you can be best friends with physical and emotional intimacy, and it is still a romantic relationship in its own right. Like, you can be that, and that's okay. Like, ultimately, we're all a little bit different. We're all trying to apply labels to different things. Oh, shoot. I did a long time ago believe this. I don't anymore, don't worry. But in my experience with everything I've seen and heard from other people, I find that if you are genuinely good friends in a relationship, you're a lot better off. That does apply for basically any relationship, by the way. Like, there's a reason why work friends is the term, you know? You're not vanilla. You like kink, BDSM, or dead dove, smut, etc. I'm not sure what dead dove is. I'm assuming it's not actually a dead bird. I would not say I'm vanilla. This is going to sound weird. It kind of goes into the whole comprehending evil stuff. Because, how do I put this? Seeing other fictional characters into stuff like knife play, being tied up, all that, I kind of get it. Like, it's very intense, and I can see how when emotions are running high, this kind of works. I can see that. And for BDSM, as long as consent is a big thing, because when people skip out on the consent part, it stops being okay. What's the term? Consensual non-consent, quote unquote, is where it's not like explicitly consensual, but it kind of is, and that's like used a lot in storytelling as it's good. That grosses me out. Unless it's explicitly in a story where this isn't supposed to be deemed as good, it grosses me out. To see that one's a big turn off for me, but it just hits too close to actually unconsensual. I would say that I'm not vanilla though. I do like seeing kink in stories. I wouldn't really want any of that done to me, but because it specifies smut, right, these three in smut, I'm assuming this is referring only to the fictional characters doing it. In which case, yeah, no, I'm down for that. So, you know, I just am. I enjoy seeing fictional characters put in these crazy situations, and I get it when they are into it. I don't entirely get why they're into it, but I do get that they're into it, and I find that fun when that is the case. You can get extremely excited about someone who you just find cool or interesting. I also don't understand how it's possible if it isn't sexual/romantic crush. Okay. I do get excited about this. This is true, yes. And because it's in brackets, I'm going to say that this one qualifies for me outright. But, a lot of allos start to understand it, in my experience at least, when you describe it not as you're really into this person, but you describe it like this is, to me, they're basically a celebrity I like, they're just a lot less popular. It very much so is, this is my idol, I like this person and what they're about, I like them as a friend. It is still platonic. And a lot of allos, in my experience, are more understanding when you phrase it that way, but also at the same time will usually joke and at least think, oh no, you're into them, I see it, and think they know better. But they do tend to be a lot more understanding when you explain it that way, in my experience. Descriptions of falling in love and attraction just sound like catching a disease to you. Sometimes. Does depend how they describe it. For me, it sounds a lot more often like it's, what's the term? Intoxicating love, where the love is so strong it sounds like they're drunk and or high, more than they're getting a disease. The whole nerves thing and everything, personally, it does usually sound more like they're just high. But again, that's more of a personal experience thing. I'm gonna mark this off as no, but you know, like, still. Wait a minute. Did I? Oh, you can't comprehend. Right, I can comprehend. I marked this down because it's not me. I am not vanilla. Oh shoot, I screwed up. Halfway through. Okay, sorry. I am not vanilla, so this qualifies for me. You get extremely excited. Yeah, this qualifies for me. Descriptions of falling in love. It does sometimes sound like a disease. Personally, I find it usually sounds more like they're drunk or high, but it does still sound like a disease to me sometimes. So yeah, these three apply. I screwed that. Someone in the comments probably already pointed out. My bad. I mixed that up. I got way too into talking about kinks and whatnot. The kinks distracted me. You already have or would pursue. Yeah, you already have or would pursue sex for reasons other than attraction. I am in well, ashamed isn't quite the right term. I'm more embarrassed than ashamed. There was a time when I believed that me being asexual is absurd, and that was just my autism getting in the way of me understanding my own attractions. There's actually a trope around this of dating someone because you think it'll make you normal. I will point out it is not on them. I've never blamed someone for that, for how I feel there. I know some people have. You shouldn't. It is not on them. But I have been that guy who did get into a relationship trying to be normal and realizing that no, it still doesn't work. I don't know why I'm not into this. And that was more than a little bit upsetting. You love love as a concept or even desire a relationship, but you'll never fall in love. I do love love as a concept. I think it's very sweet. I am in a relationship. I would say that I have fallen in love. I would say that, yeah. No, you would never fall in love doesn't work because, oh my gosh, I keep mixing up. This one qualifies as true, therefore I mark it off. Jeez. You can tell that it's like 4 a.m. right now as I'm doing this. Okay, yeah, you love love as a concept and even desire a relationship. I do. I find it very sweet. I am in a relationship right now with someone who also is not very much a sexual person. Hence why we work together so well, because we've openly communicated how we feel about this, and we don't really wanna. This one, yes, but you've never fallen in love. I have fallen in love. I, in fact, am in a relationship. Oh, I put it too close to letters. I am in a relationship as we speak. A relationship that sadly is a little bit too long distance for me to get cuddles. So I'm a little bit touch-starved still. But I have been in love. I am currently in love, to be honest. I'm very happy about that. So, yeah, okay. Mine turned out a little bit different. Alright, fair enough. This one, alright, I'll cross out too, just to make sure it's obvious. So, all the way along the line. Is there a bingo in this? There is. Okay, right here. There is, in fact, a bingo! Yay! I got worried for a second there I wouldn't get a bingo just because of how awkwardly these ones are all placed around. Because, like, it shot off every line. Wow. This was split up really well for me. I barely got a bingo, but I got a bingo. Just swap these two around and I'm screwed. Yeah, alright, I guess that's it.